and Boker Tov to everyone. It is Friday, Erev Shabbat, and I want to welcome everyone onto this page of Ways of Israel in English. And we are continuing our series of Rabbi Albo's Sefer Ikkarim, the establishments of the fundamentals of Judaism. And so we're now in chapter 10 of the first book of Rabbi Albo's incredible work that he did during the 15th century, where there was a lot of disorder. We could say there's a lot of disorder today in human society, but a fascinating concept, and we're going to look at his concept this morning regarding divine law. So stay tuned, share this, and remember, please support the Ways of Israel, which is in Spanish, Los Caminos de Israel, a Jewish institution based in South Florida, but reaching out throughout the whole world. So please join and share, and we are going to start right now the first series of chapter 10. The principles of divine law in general are three, says Rabbi Albo: the existence of God, divine revelation, and reward and punishment. There is no doubt that these are the essential principles of divine law, qua divine. For if we assume the removal of one of them, the law will fall entirely. This is obviously from the nature of the principles. Thus, if we do not believe in the existence of God, who commands the law, there is no divine law. Which, by the way, this is exactly what many politicians today have done, is remove this idea that there is no God, and therefore no reverence, and therefore no need to even have an authority over one's head. Thus, if we do not believe in the existence of God who commands the law, there is no divine law. And if we do believe in the existence of God and do not believe in divine revelation, there is no divine law. If there is no corporeal reward and punishment in this world and spiritual in the next, what need is there of a divine law? If it's in order to maintain a proper order in human affairs in relations to so as to have a perfect political society, the conventional law is sufficient for this purpose. It is clear, therefore, that if there is a divine law, it is with the purpose of leading mankind to much perfection as a human code, and cannot be attained in human perfection, which depends upon the perfection of the soul, as will appear later. It is clear, therefore, says Rabbi Albo, that the spiritual reward and punishment is fundamental principle of divine law, without any doubt. And the corporeal reward, which the righteous man obtains from God in this world for his observance of the commandment, is a proof of the future spiritual reward. It follows then that the reward and punishment in general is a necessary principle of divine law. Since these are three general principles of divine laws, the rabbis named them in the Mishnah in chapter Helek, saying that one who denies any one of them is not reckoned among the adherents of the law, and therefore has no share in the world to come. Here you have reward and punishment. Their words are as follows: all Israel have a share in the world to come, as it said, thy people also shall be all righteous, and they shall all inherit the land forever. But the following have no share in the world to come. He who says there is no resurrection of the dead in the Torah, this refers to a person who denies the divine attributes symbolized in the resurrection of the dead, which is the divine act in relations to the body and soul, and represents all kinds of retribution. For the rabbis indicate in their expression that the term resurrection of the dead is used in a general and particular sense. It means specifically that the resurrection of the dead, and it may be used in a broader sense to denote the world of souls, the world to come, the day of judgment. In other words, the idea of the resurrection of the dead is not only something that we see in the future, but in the present when we pass on, as Maimonides makes reference to. They also make clear that the idea of the Messiah, which is a physical reward, represents all kinds of rewards. They then specify that one who says there is no divine Torah, in other words, divine revelation, which is the second principle, then they mention the Epicurean. According to the testimonies of ancients, Epicurus was a person who believed that the world came by accident. It's all coincidental. It's all by accident. Denied the existence of God as the maker of the world. Those who followed his teachings were called Epicureans. We see that, therefore, they mention that these three principles and say that he who denies any one of them have no share in the world to come, because he excludes himself from the community of the adherents of the law. It is true that in the chapter of Talmud, the Epicurean is interpreted as one who holds the wise in contempt. They really mock the wise people, the sages. But the reason they say so is because no man can know the existence of God by his own rationalization. He gets this knowledge either by tradition or by demonstration, though the wise men. But he who holds contempt of wise men, who declares the existence of God to all, leaves himself no way by which he can know God, and hence is like one who denies the very existence of God, and therefore is called an Epicurean. You would probably say that today's Epicureans were very similar to today's atheists, from the fact that in the mission of chapter Halak, they're the only ones who are denied a share in the world to come. It is clear that these are the three fundamental principles common to all divine law, which every adherent of divine law is obliged to believe. It is true that the Gemara, they name others who have no share in the world to come, but they are enumerated as being derived from the three chief ones, not as being themselves chief principles. And here we will end this morning with chapter 10 of Sefer Ikkarim, the fundamentals. So, repeating the three basic elements that Rabbi Albo draws on is the existence of God, is the first general principle of divine law, divine revelation, which is the Torah, and the belief in the reward and punishment. These three elements becomes the very fundamental principles of the Jewish faith. If you say you don't believe in God and you behave and act in your conduct as an Epicurean, obviously you're negating one of the principles, general principles of the divine law. If you say the Torah was not given by God, you also negate the divine law. If you say there's no such thing as reward and punishment, and you know everybody goes to heaven, there is no consequences for our action, you're actually denying the divine law according to Rabbi Albo in his three principles. Now, in the next video, we're going to see in chapter 11 that Rabbi Albo goes into the area of the law which is agreed that Moses gave the children of Israel is divine. It is fitting that we should make a test for qualification of this divine law and prove them by it. And just as an individual has a certain species of type, if we desire to know the things which are essential and necessary to the existence and duration of every member of the species, so it's proper that we should take the law of Moses as a type and assume that those things which are necessary for the existence and duration of the law of Moses are also things that which gives existence and duration to the law of Moses. So we're going to end right here in chapter 10 as we did this introduction to chapter 11, so that way you can be in tune. You share this video with as many people as you can, and let the knowledge of God fill the earth. Let's get it done. And remember, be part of the ways of Israel, Los Caminos Israel, and give a donation of whatever amount you possibly can. We are right now in a very, very difficult situation that we need to take care of costs and budgets that are now way beyond us right now. So please do what you can. You can donate through this medium, or you can donate through our Zelle account at rabbiotero@yahoo.com. Or you can also donate directly by sending your donation via Zelle to 786-306-8211. And may God bless you and yours. And may you all have a refuah shlema if you have sick people. You know, one of the things that we do is give tzedakah in the merit of a sick person so that they may have a complete refuah neshama, a complete healing of their souls and their body. May God bless you, and Shabbat Shalom. This is Rabbi Moshe Otero with the Ways of Israel.